Welcome back. Well, today, family business and keeping the peace. About 90% of businesses in the US are family owned. But get this, almost three of four fail or they're sold before they pass down to that second generation. Barry Goodman is with Birkdale Transition Partners. And Barry, you grew up in a family business, right? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you. And yes, I did. I grew up in a family business and I did not go into the family business.
See, I don't think that's going to surprise a lot of people, especially when they hear that statistic. I think that's a pretty staggering one. First and foremost, that 90% of all businesses in the US are family owned, but that 70% fail or are sold before they reach that second generation. Why is that?
Well, it's even more staggering as the businesses go from the second to the third and the third to the fourth. But it is staggering. And oftentimes, like with myself, the next generation does not want to go into the family business, or that business just isn't ready to transition to the next generation. So there's nothing really for them to go into. Oftentimes, there's also unrealistic expectations of that next generation, and it becomes really a problem. Oftentimes, there's also family conflicts. As families grow, the business does not grow as quickly as the family. So there's really a competition of who gets into that family business. And it does cause conflict in the family, and conflict in the family then penetrates into the business.
Well, I love that you experienced it and went through much of it yourself. You know, you were working for your father's business in the Chicagoland area, where he was selling lighting and different things like that. And that, seeing some of those things that you experienced is what made you want to consult and work with other businesses. So as you do that, what do you tell businesses that are family run so that they can avoid being in that 70% that fail or don't get passed on?
Well, I tell them to talk to each other. It's a lot of families don't have those conversations around what it is that the business does, and strategic planning is a very important factor as well. Getting the whole family involved in the direction that the business is going. Um, Developing the policies and procedures of a well functioning family, whether it's family meetings or whether it's just getting together and talking about business. Also, professional management helps with the success of getting to that next generation. And finally, developing a board of directors or board of advisors.
Well, I think a lot of people we know that that board of advisors and that outside professional advice can help mediate some of those things you're talking about and be so important because it's neutral, right? It's a neutral party that's not so emotionally invested in the family in such ways. So as you talk about having an advisor guide that process for your family, I think even with some of the best advisors, things can still go off the rails for a family. So, as an advisor, what other advice do you give to families with businesses to just help navigate even that process?
Well, first of all, it's totally possible to build a multi-generational business. And a key to doing that is open communication among family members, and an advisor should be instrumental in getting that done. The openness, the frankness, the tough love, the tough questions is a key element to get answered. Uh, Two is putting the business on a professional footing. The the talent base within the family is oftentimes outgrown. So bringing in non-family members into the family business is a key element, although it is extremely difficult to do, both from the family and from the employee, because there's just this conflict that will go on with I'm the boss's son or the boss's daughter and involved in that family business. And a very key element is treating the business as an investment. Um, it is an investment of the family, families will put the business first often, and a decision needs to be made whether or not to put the family first, and to diversify. A successful portfolio, even of stocks and bonds and mutual funds, is extremely important. And a lot of successful multi-generational businesses will diversify into other related businesses. And that also mitigates the idea that one of the next gen may be interested in something totally different than the family business. And we're looking at it as a business owning family. And that creates harmony, but also creates success in that multi-generational business. And finally, getting a qualified advisor that has demonstrated an experience of helping families navigate through this whole difficult maze of being successful from one generation to the other.
Yeah, I think so many things that you said in there are going to resonate with family businesses. We've all worked with someone's boss's kid, so we know we feel that. In terms of people getting hold of you, we're out of time, but I just want you to mention, what size businesses do you work with? All of them?
I work with businesses of many different sizes, anywhere from $1 million in revenue up to $100 million in revenue or more. There's just a different set of issues, different set of circumstances, but it really is looking for that family or that business that wants and desires to help to be successful in
That's
a
great.
multi-generational business.
Thank you so much for joining us, Barry. Good to see you.
Thank you as well.
Absolutely. Here's the website where you can contact Barry in Birkdale. It's restorevaluetoday.com.